Well, you know, the great success of telling a joke often is in the timing, and Jack Benny was one of those who's very famously known for that. Let's talk about timing in a little more serious vein when we talk about Jesus in John chapter 11. In John chapter 11, Jesus is informed that his very good friend, in fact, the text tells us that he loves this man, Lazarus, and his sister Mary and his sister Martha, that his very good friend Lazarus is sick. In fact, he's very sick. And interestingly enough, when Jesus learns this, instead of dropping everything and immediately going to be by Lazarus' side, he waits 2 days, 2 whole days. And once he arrives, we learn from verse 17 that Lazarus has been dead and in the tomb 4 days. Mary and Martha, of course, are quite upset, and I think it's implied that when the people found Jesus to deliver the message to him that the one whom you love is sick, that there was an urgency there in the message. And when Jesus doesn't show up, Mary and Martha are upset. And after their brother dies, they're even more upset. And so when Jesus finally does show up, they both approach him at different times, and they say, "Lord, if you had been here, our brother would not have died." But I want you to think about something for just a minute. If the text tells us that Lazarus had been dead 4 days and that Jesus waited 2 days before he went to be with the family, if he had dropped everything that he was doing and just made a beeline to Lazarus' home, Lazarus would have already been dead 2 days. And so it really didn't matter when Jesus showed up. By the time he got the message, Lazarus was already dead. And Jesus says that this sickness that Lazarus had would not be unto death, but to the glory of God. And while we know how the story ends, by the fact that Lazarus was dead 4 days, it made the resurrection, the bringing of Lazarus back from the dead, even all the more incredible and gave great glory to God. It's all about the timing. And sometimes we want it in our timing, and we want it to be our way, but we have to learn to wait on God's timing. And he may delay things, but it's always for the better, and it's always for his glory. And so let's give God always the glory.